So, are you struggling to create strategic partnerships or grow your business by the way of networking? Well, it may not be your pitch, it may not even be your approach, it just might be your mindset. If this could be you, stay tuned. What's up, everyone? This is Georgie Howie, and on this channel, we learn how to certify, connect, and grow, where I teach small businesses how to get business certifications, grow through strategic partnerships, and have a winning mindset. So some of you may be wondering, what is even a growth mindset? And the way I've always heard it and always have kind of learned the difference between the two is a growth mindset versus a fixed mindset. That sounds, you can kind of see and visualize that when I say it, growth versus fixed. And in this scenario, a growth mindset is when you are really focusing on possibilities, when you are encouraged about the possibilities, where you see things and you are asking the right questions because you're believing something is possible for you. You are forward moving, action oriented. You are considering that pretty much I can do it, right? You have decided to believe and make that your mindset. Whereas fixed mindset can be, I'm not sure if it will work for me. Maybe I shouldn't try that. Maybe I'm not the person to do that. Maybe someone else deserves it more than me, right? You are fixed and you have decided to determine that you're not it, that maybe someone else is. Or I'm fixed and this is probably all I could ever have and I can't get beyond this point that I'm at, right? And so the difference between those, oftentimes what it looks like in our business, is that one person is continuously growing and elevating and getting opportunities, and the other person is staying still. And so my encouragement, or my really focus today, was to have you understand and see the difference between the two and how you can be more intentional about having a growth mindset. Now let's talk about growth mindset and how it directly impacts your ability to connect and win contracts, right? If I thought about the growth opportunity in something when I'm going after contracts and when I'm going after and when I'm networking and seeking partnerships, I'm thinking about myself in a value add. What is it that I have to offer? What is it that I can give or promote or, share with someone that would be a benefit to them? What is it that I can share that can really change someone's life, right? Who am I, right? What are my qualities? What are my things that I'm really good at? What are my expertise, right? And how can that be a benefit or added? How could that grow someone else's business? How could that be a benefit that I may not have considered? I'm approaching it with, I am enough. I have enough just as I am in this moment. That sounds a lot better than, well, maybe I'm not good enough, or maybe they won't like me, or maybe I don't know enough and I should go learn more, or maybe, or sometimes if it's fixed, is maybe I don't know enough and I'm not even going to try to learn more, right? The growth would be, I don't know enough and I'm going to learn more so that I can be ready and able, right? The fix is that I'm going to stay just like this because this is all I ever thought I could be. We can feel it and we can see it and we can understand it, right? I give you a time where when I first started, so I transitioned from a very stable career as a social worker, having a private practice, working in the social work field for agencies and companies for 14 years. That was my gig, that was my thing, and I loved it. And I transitioned into construction, started a construction company in 2022, had experience in construction, not that it was super foreign, it was not foreign at all. I had lots of experience in construction as an investor, but not as the owner of a construction company. And so if I had a fixed mindset starting this business, I would not have been able to go into rooms and meet people and say, hey, I can support you, or meet with developers and say, hey, I have a winning system or technique or processes that will help you create and have development projects get to, the finish line quicker. I wouldn't be able to do that. There were some things that I did not feel 100% comfortable about that I was able to do and figure out, but it just took time and effort. And it took the belief that I had in myself and my, capability in terms of, I may not have done it specifically for this industry, but I know I can figure it out. You give me a task and you give me an opportunity, I know for sure, without a shadow of doubt, I can figure it out. And so my encouragement today for you is to really have that belief in yourself, to really have that vision, that hardcore, I can do it attitude about anything you're putting your mind to. Because this stuff can get difficult. It can be isolating. It can be challenging when you're navigating, partnerships, or you're going into networking rooms and you're not sure about yourself, or you're trying to, get contracts and then you're meeting with contract officers. People pick up on that energy. So you want to maintain the appropriate mindset, be in the posture of growth. Like, even if I don't know, I'm going to figure it out, right? Even if I'm not sure, I'm going to get some clarity somewhere. You want to be in the posture of growth so that you can have a better impact and so that people can receive you. And even, if you're not 100% sure, they still have this level of security in knowing that even if she doesn't know, she's going to figure it out. I can still trust her. I can still bet on the fact that she'll get it done. That's what you want to lean into. Now, let's talk about how this looks and, going into strategic partnerships. When you're in a growth mindset, you're thinking about you and the partner. When you're in a fixed mindset, you're likely just thinking about you. Like, oh, what can I get out of this partnership? I don't know what they're going to do. Like, hey, it's me. It's every man for themselves. And believe it or not, people can pick up on that energy and it automatically says, I'm good. I know when someone is wanting to meet with me and do business with me out of their own benefit, just to be close to me. I can feel it, I can experience. So if you're showing up with that energy, again, it's not about you have the best pitch. It's about how do people, when the curtains are down, when people are done and they're putting stuff to the side, it's the end of the day. Can people trust you? Do you have integrity? Do you show up with integrity? And can people depend on that what you say you're going to do, you're going to do? And so in these partnerships, you have to be willing to say, I'm considering you as well as myself. I'm considering the mutual growth of both of us in this partnership. And so I'm here to show up in that way. You have to be open to new ideas and new experiences. You have to be willing to say, I've never tried it that way, but I'm willing. I've never really thought about it that way, but thank you for the consideration. Give me some time to think about it. Be open to expanding your experience and not be so stuck that it has to look this way or has to be this way or has to be fixed in order for it to be okay. Just be open to there's a potential way of thinking about this that maybe I haven't thought about it before. And then you still have to be willing to invest in it, invest in the mutual growth of both of you, and invest in the relationship, right? Strategic partnerships are not just about the one time, the one contract, the one win. Think about if you had a partnership in which you all won one contract, why not maintain that relationship and that connection and that, ability to sustain that? Because if you did it once, you likely could rinse and repeat the cycle. Well, let's go after another contract. Let's look for other opportunities. Let's think about other ways in which we can work together. And let's think about mutually benefiting one another. Imagine how far we could get if we went into things thinking, what's the mutual benefit here and not just the benefit for me? So the mindset shifts that I need you to make today, when you're beginning to go into situations, into the situation thinking not why not me, or is it possible for me, but how can I figure this out? How can I get in the position to be ready and capable? How can I make this possible? What do I need to do to elevate this experience or this relationship or this partnership? What do I need to do and what do I need to consider, right, to make this pitch? Not necessarily the pitch, but what do I need to do to make an impressionable, memorable representation of who I am and what my company can do, right? I'm leading with the idea that I am capable, that it is possible, and that I am willing and able to do what's necessary. Consider shifting from what you can't do to how can I make this possible? What does it look like? what can I do differently? How can I show up? Because that takes you out of being the victim and puts you into being the creator. And once you make those shifts, you start to see more empowering things happening versus this drama and chaos of things happening. Be willing to shift into creating and discovering what's possible for you. The second shift I will have you make would be to embrace feedback as fuel. Sometimes people will say, well, I'm not sure based on, what you have so far, it presents enough. It's not really good for our team right now. It doesn't seem like it's a good match. Or maybe you should try to beef up this part, or maybe you could get some more experience here, or maybe you can consider this. And have that feedback be information for you to say, not that you have to agree with everything. I'm not asking you to be like, yep, they said I was horrible, I'm horrible. Yep, that's me. I'm just asking you to take the feedback as information for you to adjust where you need to. So if someone is saying, hey, I think you need a few more experiences, and then maybe it could be a potential partnership, well, consider the experience that they're suggesting and see if it aligns with where you're wanting to go. And if it aligns with where you're wanting to go and you knew you were planning to get the experience anyway, then work on it, right? Use that information and that feedback as, okay, I can consider that and I can see how that's important for me. Thank you for the feedback. You take it, you implement it, and then when you've had it done, you go back to the person or you go back to the company and you say, this is where we are now, right? We've taken your feedback, we implemented it, and these are the changes we made as a result. So don't be so shy to say, to not, take feedback or have it hinder you in a way where you're disconnected from, the outcome, the potential outcomes or the things that it can create. The third mindset shift you can make is collaboration over competition. If you can start looking at things from a space of being collaborative versus competitive, you are winning. That is a growth mindset. That is the number one strategy I have, because what's for me is what's for me, and what's for you is what's for you. If I went into the things, the amount of opportunities that I'm presented with I have to do it and I have to exclude someone, and I cannot be thinking about the someone if they're presented better or if they have more skill than me, then that makes me less than. No, that's just what you have. But I have something that maybe you do not have. Right? I can show up in a way that you cannot show up. I can perform or do something that maybe you cannot do. Right? And so instead of me looking at it as like, if I let this person, join my team and they do better than me, right? That means they're going to get more than me. No, I'm going to come together and have someone join me and be partners, and we're going to network together because your win is my win. Embrace collaboration over competition, right? And the better we can get at that, when I say you, me, anyone who's watching this video, the better we can get at that is the better we can continue to create growth opportunities within our business and expand our revenue, right? We are in a dire state, right? Dire state in terms of there's a lot of things happening around us that we don't have control over. And this is our time and our moment to show up and embrace collaboration over competition. It is going to be necessary and required in this next season of our lives and in our businesses. And I think we need to tap in. So again, embrace collaboration over competition. So I just thank you for being here. And if you're here and you haven't checked out my ultimate certification starter kit, then it's in the link below. I look forward to you downloading. I look forward to getting your feedback, and I thank you for joining.